Live from Hazard, Kentucky, this is Jammin John's Wrestling News. Here's your news for Tuesday, January 15, 2019. Last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, the first episode of the season without football competition, did 2.722 million viewers. This was above last week's 2.324 million viewers. The Raw from 1 year ago on January the 15th, 2018 drew 3.250 million viewers. Here are the hourly numbers from ShowBuzzDaily.com. Hour number 1, 2.775 million. Hour number 2, 2.781 million. And hour number 3, 2.610 million. In an interview with WrestlingInc.com, Diamond Dallas Page commented on Cody Rhodes' success with All Elite Wrestling. DDP said, "It's effing amazing. I'm about to put an interview out with him. The last 2 years we've filmed me talking to Cody of what happened last year. Last year he came light years from leaving the WWE, and this year it's like warp speed. He's like my nephew and I'm enjoying watching it. It's amazing. It's the closest it's ever been to the Monday Night Wars era. Gotta see what's going to happen." And on the topic of AEW, regarding CM Punk and All Elite Wrestling, he is still under contract to UFC despite no plans for him to be used, but doesn't appear to have any interest in returning to wrestling. Punk has reportedly been contacted by AEW, and Chris Jericho recently stated to Chris Van Vliet that AEW would love to have him. Chris Jericho said, "CM Punk's not so much a free agent as he is a retired wrestler from what I understand. Of course we'd love to have Punk come in there." It's believed that the Alexa Bliss topless segment from last night on Monday Night Raw was designed to push the envelope a bit and generate some buzz. The plan appeared to be effective, as the YouTube video has more than 1.5 million views in less than 24 hours and is currently the second most watched clip from this week's episode of Raw. Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com commented on the segment by saying, "So the idea is they want to bring back this idea of God only knows what. It's like old time stuff. It's like whatever, that stuff's on regular TV shows all the time too. It was an attempt to do something that was very awkward in execution, but it was an attempt to make things sexy. That's all that was." It appears that Lars Sullivan was originally scheduled to shoot his debut angle on last night's WWE Raw. Sullivan was the only promoted NXT call-up that did not appear on this week's show. As previously noted, Sullivan was not at last week's Raw, and the rumor going around was that Sullivan had suffered an anxiety attack. Here's what Raja.com noted about the situation. Raja.com tweeted on Twitter, "Later tonight, WWE had planned to tape an angle where Lars Sullivan was going to beat up Cena to begin their WrestleMania storyline. The segment was supposed to air next week as Lars' official debut, but Vince pulled the plug on that either this morning or last night. Unclear whether this means they will try again later to do that, or if the entire storyline is now scrapped." As previously noted, Braun Strowman is reportedly still not fully recovered from his recent elbow surgery. In addition to that, it appears that WWE did not want to have Strowman lose again to Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble, so the decision was made to go with Finn Balor instead. A big push for Balor has been rumored going back to the TLC pay-per-view. Mike Johnson of PWInsiderElite.com commented on the situation by saying, "Why isn't Braun Strowman in this match? Well, the obvious reason is that he's just not physically cleared by WWE's medical staff to do a big heavy-duty match with Brock Lesnar." Johnson continued on by saying, "However, they also didn't want Braun to get beaten by Brock, and they were not planning on putting the belt on Braun Strowman at the Royal Rumble. So they kind of painted themselves into a corner, and then they painted themselves out of that corner somehow." Thanks to WrestlingNews.com for the quotes. And finally, here on Jammin John's Wrestling News, ShowBuzzDaily.com noted the following about Impact Wrestling on Pursuit viewership. ShowBuzzDaily.com stated, "Cable note, because so many people have asked, note that we have no ratings at all for the Pursuit service, including for Impact Wrestling." Now, Mike Johnson of PWInsider.com noted the following regarding the numbers not being available. Mike Johnson said, "That would mean not only was it not in the top 150 broadcast that night, but many of the outlets that cover such things in the entertainment world don't have access to those numbers. Within the company, if they have the numbers, they were not being openly shared. This may be the new reality going forward, that the number is so low that access to getting it may be extremely hard. And that is your news for Tuesday, January 15th, 2019. Check back here tomorrow for another Jammin John's Wrestling News Flash Briefing on Amazon Alexa devices, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, and iTunes. Follow me on Twitter at John Caldwell, JONCOLWELL. Follow me on Instagram, The Jammin John. If you'd like to sponsor Jammin John's Wrestling News or your wrestling promotion, want to get your next big event out, you can email me, jzcaldwell@gmail.com. That's JZCOLWELL@gmail.com. Big shout out to Ryan Hurdle and Tony Nelson for subscribing to my Patreon. You too can subscribe to me by going to patreon.com/jamminjohn. I have free packages on there ranging from free to $7. Not a whole lot of money. I would really appreciate it if you supported me a little bit financially. Once again, that's patreon.com/jamminjohn. This is Jammin John saying thanks, goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow.